So, good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Muruganantham, Head Department of Computer Science, PG. So, today we have going to discuss on COM. So, COM is nothing but component object model. So, in this coming set of slides, we are going to discuss on introduction about this component object model, and then there are different technologies being used for COM, and then we are going to discuss about COM binary standard. And then there are few important aspects of COM. Number one is interface, and second one is a component object library, and then followed by COM server as well as COM objects, and what are the different technologies are being evolved from COM. So those aspects we have discussed, and finally there are few practical examples. So continuation of that. So when you've seen that this COM is being introduced by Microsoft just from the Windows platform. So in Windows platform, you're seeing that there are so many applications are being. So those applications, if they want to interact each other, how it is going to interact each other. So that's why from the beginning they have created there are certain few technologies and through that these softwares are being interacted with each other. So number one is using a clipboard mechanism. So that is a basic mechanism being used in the early days of Windows, where two different applications are being interacted with each other. And then evolved and they brought a new mechanism called DDE, which is nothing but dynamic data exchange. So during the runtime, how two different applications are going to exchange data. Something, for example, uh, from Excel, if you want to pass a data to the Word, or vice versa, which is very much possible, where you can able to uh, exchange informations and you can able to uh, for example, in your Word document, you can bring your Excel data and you can modify, and then you can change the graph. A lot of things you can do that. So that is a basic mechanism being adapted using DDE, dynamic data exchange. And then the next level they move to OLE, which is nothing but object linking modeling. Suppose if you want to insert an image in your document, or if you want to insert a video file, or maybe some other file if you want to incorporate into your uh, applications where the OLA is being used. It's not only on that aspects. If you want to go for something like the backend data to be interacted, to be added, so where the OLA is being used, OLA DB is being used. And then there are few drawbacks when you go for using all these technologies. One of the main drawback is something like physical location dependency, as well as it is platform dependent. So they want something like a platform dependent and need to work physical location independency. So that is where they brought a mechanism called COM, which is nothing but a component object. So that is what we're going to discuss. So before getting to the COM, so there is one of the uh, mechanism which they use, which is nothing that DDL. So DDL is nothing that dynamic link library. How we can go for link the data dynamically. So where one of the earlier uh, mechanisms being used by Microsoft, which is nothing but DDL. But the problem of this DLL file, which is nothing that physical location dependency as well as the version management. To overcome that, they brought a mechanism of COM. So, which is basically something like which is going to provide a robustness and something like API integration, which is very much possible, as well as a physical location independency, and you can able to split into different components, which is very much possible when you try to use your COM. So this COM has been introduced in the year 1992 by Microsoft, and which is kind of a software architecture which is allows different applications can interact with each other. So something like the applications being created using different vendors, those vendors how they can interact each other and to exchange the information. That is where this particular COM object is being brought into market, and which supports interoperability as well as reusability. And the benefit, if you see that it is maintainability and adaptability, which is easily maintained as well as it can adapt to the different platform, which is very much possible. And but one of the key constraints when you go for using a comp, which is something like the component must adhere to the binary structure or binary standard which has been specified by the Microsoft. So that only it will work. And these are the few terminologies which is being used in comp. Number one is interface, class, objects, and components. So interface is basically nothing but a group of functions which is going to be used for a specific purpose. And the class, which is basically nothing but a concrete implementation of this one or more interface being created. And then if you want to access the interface methods are on a variable where you need to have an instance that is nothing but an object. And finally, all these things we need to build and create an application. So that is where the component is being used. So when you use a component, it need to be used in different platform. So where the binary unit of code has been created with the help of COM objects. So these are the few terminologies have been used in COM. So with this, I'm stopping this particular video. The coming videos we can go for seeing some questions. Thank you.